Listen up! The offensive coordinator who led us to a top-5 score in offense is now thinking about leaving, and rival teams are already knocking on his door. If he walks, our future quarterback will have to learn a whole new system. But the nightmare doesn't stop there. A 39-year-old QB with more picks than touchdowns is starting on Christmas against Dallas. Strategy or desperation? And just when you thought the chaos couldn't get worse, one of our stars is making history off the field in a way no one saw coming. Stick around, because these 3 stories will shape Washington's future. Smash that like button and hit subscribe now. News 1. Cliff Kingsbury's future is up in the air. The chemistry between Cliff Kingsbury and Jaden Daniels was undeniable early in the season. I saw it, you saw it. We all saw it. Those two were meant to do something special in Washington. But then came the injuries, and that promising connection got cut short when Daniels only managed to play in 7 games this year. And you know what's the most frustrating part? The injuries didn't just hit Daniels. Saturday night, in that brutal 29, took a cleat to his throwing hand and pulled his quad on the same play in the 3rd quarter. Needed stitches in his hand, and now his status is up in the air. I'm telling you, Kingsbury is getting Josh Johnson or Jeff Driscoll, who just got signed off the Cardinals' practice squad, ready to possibly start against Dallas. Can you imagine the nightmare it must be for an OC to switch quarterbacks every week? But here's what really worries us as Commanders fans. While the team's been struggling all season, questions are swirling about Kingsbury's future, whether he'll stick around or chase a head coaching gig elsewhere. And honestly, I think he's earned the right to explore his options. Look at his reason. 4 years as head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, a playoff appearance in 2021, coached #1 pick Kyler Murray, and 6 years running the show at Texas Tech. That's a deep resume. His impact was obvious last season. Washington finished 5th in scoring offense and 7th in total yards in 2024. Those are elite numbers, but with Daniels missing most of 2025, the Commanders have slipped to 24th in scoring and 20th in total offense heading into Week 17. When asked about his future while prepping for the Cowboys on Christmas Day, Kingsbury stayed focused. We'll see how that plays out, but right now I'm just trying to get one of these quarterbacks ready on a short week, he said. But do you really think that means he's staying? Let me ask you this. If you had a shot at being a head coach after a season where injuries kept you from showing your full potential, wouldn't you take it? Last season, Kingsbury turned down interviews that showed loyalty. But now, with Washington in a rough season, he might be open to new opportunities once it's over. I think that's what scares me most as a fan. It's not just losing a great OC, it's losing the continuity Jaden Daniels needs to grow. That kid flashed greatness when healthy, and the last thing he needs is to learn a whole new offense in year 2. What do you think? Is Kingsbury staying or going? And can we really blame him if he leaves after a season wrecked by injuries? News 2. Josh Johnson to start on Christmas. If that shocked you, wait for this. With Marcus Mariota missing his 2nd straight practice on Tuesday due to hand and quad injuries, it's looking more and more like Josh Johnson will get the start on Christmas Day against the Dallas Cowboys. According to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, Marcus Mariota missed his 2nd straight Commanders practice. A source says veteran Josh Johnson is trending toward making his first start of the season. The team also added Jeff Driscoll this week. Do you realize what this means? We're about to see a 39-year-old quarterback make his first start of the season in one of the most watched games of the year on Christmas Day against our division rivals. Johnson has played in 3 games for the Commanders this season, but all 5 of his pass attempts came in Week 16 against the Eagles. He completed 5 of 9 passes for 43 yards, no touchdowns, and 1 pick. Not great numbers, but he didn't have much time to settle in either. Now sitting at 4-11, Washington is playing for pride and development. Daniels is the guy for now and the future. Starting Johnson means going with a trusted vet to close out the year. I'm telling you, this guy's been in the league since 2009, played in 48 games total, thrown for 2,340 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 17 picks. He's only 1-8 as a starter, but the fact that he's played for 14 different teams, the most in NFL history, says a lot about how he's viewed around the league. And here's why that matters. You don't bounce around the 14 teams unless people respect you. Teams don't keep calling unless you can handle the job. Johnson's the kind of player who knows the playbook, can step in any time, and coaches trust not to screw things up. Washington will keep monitoring Mariota's injuries. If he heals up before Week 18, he'll likely be back under center. But on Christmas Day, it's looking more and more like Johnson will get the nod. I think this might be a blessing in disguise. Why? Because Johnson's seen it all in this league. He's been in good offenses and bad ones, played with elite talent and rebuilding squads. If anyone can keep the offense moving without making dumb mistakes, it's him. But here's the question I need you to answer. With Daniels out and Mariota hurt, should we be using these last two games to see what we've got in the younger QBs on the roster? Or is it more important to finish strong with a vet like Johnson? News 3. Bobby Wagner makes history off the field, but none of that compares to what's next. While we're talking injuries and losses, one Commander star is making history in a whole different way. Bobby Wagner, Washington's standout linebacker, just completed an 18-month MBA program at Howard University, balancing his NFL grind with serious academic work. He wrapped up all his coursework in December and is set to officially graduate in May. Do you get how big this is? A player at the top of his game, prepping to face the best athletes in the world every Sunday. Found time to earn an MBA? That's burgundy and gold, baby. That's what being a true pro looks like. Wagner enrolled in the program and fast-tracked his graduation by taking summer classes instead of waiting for spring. Most of it was online, but he also attended some in-person classes on campus. But here's what really hits. Wagner's not doing this just for the diploma. Beyond being beast on the field, he's proven himself a sharp businessman. This summer, he became a minority investor in the WNBA Seattle Storm. Sometimes when you come from football into the business world, Wagner said, people think you're only there because of who you know. They think we skip steps or haven't done the work. I've done the work through challenges most people wouldn't have pushed through. I'm telling you, Wagner is breaking the stereotype that football players can't succeed off the field. And he's doing it while still dominating on it. He's just 25 tackles away from joining Ray Lewis and London Fletcher as the only players in NFL history with 2,000 career tackles. Wagner recently spoke with Fletcher about how much this moment means. According to ESPN's John Keane, Wagner said getting his degree is about making the guys he started with proud. They were the ones who pushed him early to go after a higher education. I was like, man, I just got here. In my head, I've got over 10 years, Wagner said. But I had some great mentors who really pushed me to understand that this game can be taken from you at any moment. And what I love about this? Wagner wants to destroy the myth that players who chase interests beyond football can't still ball out. His career speaks for itself. 11 All-Pro selections, including 6 first-team honors and 10 Pro Bowl nods. With that kind of resume, many see him as a lock for the Pro Football Hall of Fame. From the outside, if you do anything else, people think you're not focused, Wagner said. Then when you retire and have nothing going on, they ask, why didn't you do more? So you can't listen to what people say. They're not you, trying to figure things out at the end of your career. I'm trying to break that mindset. You can dominate your field and still learn and grow in other areas. Tapping into his Mamba mentality, Wagner said the late Kobe Bryant inspired him to pursue higher education. He was a guy that everyone thought only did basketball, Wagner said. Then he retired, and you saw how much he wrote, how he played piano, taught, did business, so many things. If someone like that can do it, anyone can. Wearing a hoodie from his soon-to-be alma mater, Wagner said getting an advanced degree is something his young... I think Wagner is the kind of player every team needs. Not just for what he brings on the field, but for the example he sets off it. In a season where there hasn't been much to celebrate, having someone like Wagner on our roster reminds us that football is just one part of life. So, what do you think? Should more players follow Wagner's lead and prepare for life after football while they're still playing? Look, this season's been rough. Nitrogen monoxide, denying IT. We've seen brutal injuries, tough losses, and now the possibility of losing our offensive coordinator. But we've also seen resilience. We've seen vets like Josh Johnson ready to step up and we've seen legends like Bobby Wagner proving that being a commander means more than just what you do on the field. So let me ask you this. Should Kingsbury stay in Washington? Do you trust Josh Johnson to represent this team on Christmas Day against Dallas? And what do you think about what Bobby Wagner is doing off the field? I need you to drop your thoughts in the comments. This is a family, and families talk, debate, and support each other, especially when times are tough. If you're a real Commanders fan, if you bleed burgundy and gold like I do, then hit that subscribe button because we're bringing you all the news, all the breakdowns, and all the passion this team deserves. Smash that like button if you agree with anything I said today. Share this with other Commanders fans who need to stay in the loop. And above all, stay loyal to this team. Better days are coming. And remember, hail to the Redskins!